All right, welcome everyone. A quorum is 6 people and we have everyone but one, so thank you very much for being here. And let's take a look at our action items from the October 5th. So I sent an email to, or I talked to Kate Sandretto, and what she said we need to do is vote on the bylaws. And if we all agree, then Heather can post them on the website and then they're official. So that is on the agenda number 4. And then, oh, sorry, did someone say something? And then the second one was Bridget and Greg review the action items from the park reports. And Greg, if you have any issues, you can just mention as we go through the park reports. And then I sent out the 2021 meeting dates, and then I'll just check in with Heather after the meeting to see if they're on the city calendar. I noticed that today's was on the city calendar. The new fancy city calendar. Okay. All right, so does anyone have comments on the November 2019 meeting minutes?
No.
Good, okay. I just had a question. Maybe Deborah knows the answer to this. There was some discussion, if you were here for last November, the Wood County Plays, 2 representatives came and talked to us. Yes. And one of the things we talked about was the crosswalk on Fort Meigs Road. Deborah, do you know anything about that?
I haven't heard anything more about that, but I think that's a really good idea. I think Rick brought that up, as I recall. Rick Giltz.
The meeting minutes happen to say Chris Patrick, but I think we've all talked about it a few times. And since I live very close to that area, I've dodged traffic much of the summer and fall, darting from Rivercrest over to the area of the new park over there, and where the Wood County Plays is going to be.
I can certainly bring that up, Jessica, at city council if you like. Absolutely.
Yeah, that would be great. Since we've talked about it multiple times, and then it's in the minutes here.
Sure.
And then just to close out those action items, I checked those, and we don't have any outstanding actions there. Does anyone have anything else on November 2019 meeting minutes?
No.
Okay. What do we do we say motion to approve?
Yeah, if you just have a first, and like a motion to approve with the first and then a second, and then.
Okay, motion to approve.
From Jessica, and then a second from.
We got a second.
I second.
And then.
Second.
Who was.
Will for the second.
Okay.
All right. And then how about the October, the ones from last month? The one thing that I had is our next meeting is today, not in April. So our next meeting on this meeting will be April.
My apologies.
Oh, no problem. Anyone have anything else? All right, motion to approve the October 5th, 2020 meeting minutes with the one proposed change.
We just need a second, whoever would like to second.
I'll second.
Chris Patrick.
All right, Chris Patrick second. One thing on those, Deborah, that Bridget brought up, that you were going to recognize Caleb.
Yeah.
For his.
No, not Caleb. Connor Patrick.
Oh, sorry, Connor.
Yeah,
Caleb is right there, right below me on the little
That's
screen.
okay.
Connor.
Yeah.
So there was possibly a mix-up that possibly involved me, and I apologize for adding more people. We didn't know Quinn's proposed graduate or her impending graduation. So I had talked to Elaine about after Quinn graduates in June or May, whenever your graduation is, and after June, for Connor to come back for his senior year.
Well, I'll tell you what, I currently have, he's going to be recognized at an upcoming city meeting. This is going to at no cost to the taxpayers. A business person has agreed to pay for a plaque to be recommended. He will be recognized for his years of service, which event were 2018 and 2019.
Okay.
And I'll leave the rest of that up to you and Elaine to figure out. But in the meantime, I'm going to recognize him because he has done good service. And,
Yes. Okay.
all right.
All right. I just wanted you, I'm not saying that he didn't do a great job. I'm just saying that his great job is not completed.
I appreciate you saying so. Just wanted to let you know what's going to be happening.
Okay. Thank you.
You got it.
All right. So,
Rick just joined, so let me unmute him.
hey, just in time.
Hello, Rick.
All right. So if you could unmute Rick and we could get his park report.
I'm working on trying to.
Okay.
Is that static on our end when we talk, or are we okay?
A message that I could unmute myself. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
So, yes, I took a ride by today at the park, and the wind kept me from riding my bike all the way across the park. But which also made the park much cleaner than normal because everything that was in the park was in the ditch. But anyway, I jest with that. The park looked fine. There's no real change from the last time I was through there. They're keeping up with it, and that is really as much as I had to report about it, but I didn't want to miss the meeting, so.
Great. Thank you, Rick.
Thanks.
All right. And then how about Quinn for Davis Overlook?
Okay. Hi. Oh wait, my camera's not on. Wait. Hi. So for Davis Overlook, with all the wind, the paths are pretty much kind of infested with all the branches and all the leaves. So just if that could be cleaned up, but totally okay if not. I know it's kind of a hike over there compared to other parks. But other than that, it's looking great. The paths were clear before that, but we had heavy wind this weekend. So it's just like a little messy. Other than that, it looks great.
Good, thank you. All right, Will for Riverside and Milestone.
All right, I actually drove by Milestone this evening. It looks pretty good. I mean, looks great. It's a small park, so it makes it easy. Riverside looks great too. I will say, and I meant to send this to Greg last week, but my wife and I were walking down there and we saw that some of those Toledo Zoo signs that are on the next to the sidewalk are kind of bent. I don't know if they look like they might have been vandalized. It's like somebody sitting on them, not necessarily intentional, but definitely not right. So, okay. We already know about it, so that's great. So,
All right.
That concludes my report. Again, every time we go down there, I always see a lot of people, so it's nice to see that that place always used. It's great. So even in the cooler weather, people are hanging out over there, sitting on the benches and on the swings. So that's neat. So
Good.
that concludes my report.
Great, thank you. All right, then I'm next with Orleans Park, and I sent out an email with photographic evidence of the new bench. Thanks, Greg. We talked about that last meeting, in fact. Looks really good. I sat on it.
New bench, new roof.
New bench, new roof. Excellent. And then I ventured out onto the bridge and you know, the pedestrian part that you're allowed to be on, and took some pictures of the trail in progress in case you haven't been over there in a while. So that looks good too.
Good. Did you notice any beavers in the area?
I didn't know to look.
We have beavers in Orleans Park now.
Oh,
I will be going back. Where do they live?
Yeah. They live back around near the boat ramp. If you go over there, you'll see almost every tree along that shoreline has been chewed on. We've got a couple of them we may have to remove before they fall. But it's been a busy beaver, that's for sure.
Yeah, cool. All right. I mean, I will go check that out on my next outing. All right, we've got Chris, municipal park.
I don't know.
Which park is that?
Chris is gone.
Is he gone?
He was the cell phone number.
Okay,
So
let
it's
me.
like 344. Has to come
I
back.
don't see him anymore.
Oh,
Let's skip Chris
Okay.
and go to Dave Shannon, Woodlands Park.
I've got nothing to report on Woodlands. I mean, it's looked pretty good this summer. So,
All right, and then it's Chris.
hey, Jessica, just one
Yeah.
second. I have a question to ask Greg.
Sure.
Maybe some of you have noticed, several people have asked me this question about Woodland Park. They're wondering, when you go into the entrance, it looks like there's kind of tar unfinished, so to speak, and I guess they're wondering what's going on with that.
Last week we actually started resurfacing that parking lot, so they have the base coat down, and weather permitting, they should finish that up this week with a all new top coat.
Thank you, Greg.
All right, and then Heather, if you see, oh, Chris is back. Let me unmute him, the 7434 cell phone number.
I'm trying.
Oh, there you go. Chris, what do you think about municipal park report?
I think I'm led to understand that it is now the #1 park in all of Perrysburg. Isn't that weird?
That's what I heard too.
I don't know how that happens. It's so bizarre. But no, everything looks great at the park. There is a bench on the south end of the basketball courts that's almost laying down.
Huh. Okay.
Like it's pretty bent up, but I mean that's going to happen. I just wanted to bring it to everybody's attention. You know, being the #1 park, we should have good benches. And the other thing is, in the baseball diamond, there's like some yellow tape and a couple posts that are dug into the ground.
Where's that?
In the field itself.
Which field would that be?
The baseball field on the south end.
Oh, okay. Meyer Field?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, there's actually going to be a new fencing, home run fence and everything that's going to be going in there. So that may be preliminary to that installation.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I just didn't know what it was.
Yeah. Yeah, actually,
as always, a lot of
we're
activity.
expecting that. We're expecting that to begin any time now.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's everything looks great. I mean, that's really all I've got.
Good.
Good, thank you. You didn't visit the park when it was pouring rain to check the gutters?
Oddly enough, no, I did not.
Okay. All right, Lindsay Eisenhower.
Eisenhower looks good. It's not as busy now that Mr. Freeze is closed. So yeah, it looks great. I like the new play set.
Good.
All right, then I've got Aaron with Hood Park.
Hood was clean, well kept. The docks are out now, and the boathouse is almost done. Looks like they just need to add siding. I mean, everything else looks like it's pretty much finished. The only thing I noticed was on the west wall, the retaining wall, all the wind had blown just piles of leaves, but I'm sure that'll change tomorrow once the wind direction changes.
Yep, it always does.
It'll all be in the river tomorrow. And that's it.
Good,
Thank you.
And Tony, Three Meadows.
Got quite a list here. Are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, they removed the sidewalks at Three Meadows on the west side of the pond. We called it the sidewalk to nowhere. They removed the sidewalks, but they didn't backfill any dirt in there and they didn't reseed it. So it needs landscaping bad. Otherwise, it's going to be a mud pit. And we still had the erosion at the park benches all around the pond. Really bad.
Yeah, we've got just this week we've gotten 2 bids to start that work to correct that erosion, and that's going to be ongoing through this winter probably. So that's coming real soon. So yeah, we've definitely got like I said, 2 bids on that. And that should be started here pretty soon. So, yep, go ahead.
Okay. The handicap signs on the long steel posts. There's a handicap sign at the shelter house parking lot. And I think those would look better if they were lowered maybe to like 4 or 5 feet and put on 4x4 posts. I think that's one of the reasons the signs got all crooked and bent, is because they're on those long poles. That's just my opinion. Okay.
I was gonna say, I think I recognize him.
Yes.
Anybody here for a sleep study? Come on back.
What?
Huh?
Okay. Am I on?
Yeah, keep going, Tony.
I have
Okay.
no idea what that was about.
There's a trash container attached to the handicap pole at the north end of the park at the pond. And it's about probably 20 feet from the street. I don't think it looks very nice. Just my opinion. I mean, there should be another place to put that trash container. Okay, number 5, the telephone base poles are still there. The telephones are gone, but the poles are still there.
Yeah, the company has been notified. We're still waiting on them to remove those.
Okay, the handicap marking is still in front of the sidewalk at the shelter house. And it's been that way for 5 years.
Yeah, we've actually realigned the parking spaces there, and that space will be hashed out to create the van accessible unloading there and leave a clear walkway.
Okay. There's also the trip hazard at the north end of the small bridge. The sidewalk is sunk down at least 2 to 3 inches.
Okay.
Shall I keep going?
Yeah, I'm still writing.
The sidewalks at the shelter house have white markings. Are those to be removed and replaced?
Yes, yeah, we've been going out there and evaluating that whole area for sidewalk repairs, which would also include the repair there at the bridge.
Okay, since the restrooms at the shelter house are closed, people are going between the partitions and the doors to the restrooms, and they're urinating on the walls and on the ground or on the concrete. I saw one person myself, and then the other day I saw another wet spot on the concrete. So if the shelter house is open, it's like the wild, wild west. And I also saw some beer cans there the other day too. About 2 weeks ago, there was 50 people in that shelter house. They answer to nobody, so they drink beer, party, whatever. And this was a Thursday, not a weekend.
Wow.
At night?
Anytime you notice something like that, just call the police, because they shouldn't have alcohol in the park, and large groups like that as well.
There's large piles of dirt dumped at the north end of the park near the pond. And I wonder what those are about. Looks like dump trucks are back in there and dumped like 4 or 5 loads.
Yep, that's actually some of the dirt that we're going to be using to fix some of the erosion issues and low spots throughout the park.
Jessica, that's all I have. I'd like to compliment Greg on, they painted the large bridge. They removed all the leaning crooked poles, which looked real nice. They cut down the shrubbery in front of the Three Meadows signs. And the new signs in front of the shelter house and at the other end of the park look real nice too. And that's all I have.
Thank you.
All right, I've got Todd next with Bicentennial.
Yeah, just a couple updates with Bicentennial. It looked like there was some new light fixtures placed on several of the tall light poles, so those were working well. And I did share a picture of the new bench that's in one of the playground areas, so that looks good as well. Nothing else to really report. There's a few, we'll say, discourteous neighbors on the south end adjacent to that long stretch of empty grass that blow all of their leaves into the park. But at least this time we had a storm that night and they were all blown back. So I guess that
serves them right.
What's that?
It serves them right.
Yeah, I know. That's all I had.
Great, thanks, Todd. And then Caleb with Rotary Park.
Yeah, so not much to report. They put in the new trash cans around the park, which is nice. Not a lot of people going anymore now that the weather's getting colder, but other than that, everything looks great. Yeah, that's all I've got.
Good, thank you. All right, that's all the park reports. Did I miss anybody or anyone forget anything that they want to peep up? Okay. All right, and then next I have reviewing the proposed bylaws and vote on approval. So Kate did make one recommendation, so I sent out the updated one. Her recommendation was to add the full municipal code sections, like the 280.01 through 0.08, instead of, I just had the section that was about the meetings before. So does anyone have any comments or anything they would like me to change?
I have one thing. It's just English. That's all. So, can we change their THEIR to his or her, or to vice chair? Because under vice chair shall perform all duties of the chair in the event of their absence. Obviously, people are not plural, so I'd say his or her, or
sure.
say, or just say vice chair, or chair.
How about I'll say, in the event of the absence of the chair.
There we go. I like that. I know it's acceptable, but if we're gonna make it a legalish document,
well, at least a document on the internet.
There you go.
All right, so I have under vice chair shall, the first sentence updated to perform all duties of the chair, comma, in the event of the absence of the chair, period.
Cool. Thanks.
Sure. Anyone have anything else? All right, so motion to approve bylaws as updated just now.
I make a motion.
Second.
Aaron, did you second?
Second.
Yes, you did.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and I'll change the update date to today, and I will send those to you, Heather. That will be my action item. All right, good. And then these will be just posted to the website. They will not be etched in stone. So if at any time you think of something that you want modified, then we just go through the process which just occurred, which was we make the change and then we agree on it or fail to disagree on it, and then it gets reposted. And that can be done at any period this week per the law director. All right. Next thing, I've got recreation committee for Deborah.
Hello, everybody. It's good to see everybody. And I'm glad I finally could click in. Last time I couldn't, so I'm here with Heather, so I'm definitely here. I would just like to say, first of all, I don't have a report, and the next meeting is November 10th at 6:30 p.m. But in the meantime, I would like to thank Liz Lauer for her service and Dave Shannon for their service to Prac. And that's what I have right now.
So Dave's term expires at the end of this year. If we can all say thank you very much, Dave, and it was nice to meet you and to be on Prac with you for the time you've been here. And thank you.
It's been an interesting term.
Everything in 2020 is interesting at best. Right. Okay, so I have the 2021 meeting dates they're on the agenda, and so you should be able to see them right there. If anybody has any issues finding them, let me know and I can email those out again. Due to my knowledge of epidemiology, I'm going to say the spring meetings are probably going to be virtual. And then we'll just play it by ear next year for the rest of the year. And then when Heather and I were going through the calendar, there were just a lot of conflicts with July and September with all the other committees. So we decided to cancel those two. And if you have anything in the interim, you could just send Greg an email. Or for more pressing things, as Greg recommended, call maybe the non-emergency police number. Okay. Anyone have any issues with the dates or would like to discuss them or anything like that? All of those are the first Monday of the month and will be at 7 p.m.
Jessica, did you just mention that you weren't going to be meeting in July and August? Do you have on here 8/2/2021? Are you still meeting or?
July and September because of the 4th of July and then Labor Day is the first Monday, and then other committees meet on the second Monday, and so then we can click all the time.
Keep me posted. Thank you.
Okay.
So I will get those on the new website. Everything not everything transferred from the old website to the new website. So I'm working on not only updating Prac information, but also the 3 other meetings that come up in the office. So I will get these meetings loaded as soon as I can.
Good, thank you. And all right, so I action items from this meeting. My first one is for me to email the bylaws to Heather. And then the second one is for Heather to check the 2021 calendar for Prac. And I can check in with you on that in the future. Does anyone else have any other action items?
I just had a question, since we're not going to be meeting for 5 months or so. So if we were interested in putting forth a proposal for something new in the parks, how do we go about doing that?
Could you mention the nature of the something new?
Sure. So I was down in the Davis Overlook area this weekend, and it seems like a great resource that we have in the community. The trails are, they're pretty overgrown, so they're not really well used, I'm sure, by other people other than fishermen. So I don't know what that would entail to improve the trails there, but it just seems like a great resource to have along the river. To look into doing something with that, for example.
Let's ask Greg. Although he's on mute.
Hey, Jessica, we lost connection for like 2 minutes, and I don't know why.
We need to find out what Todd was just talking about.
Todd wanted to talk to Greg, who is stuck on mute, about having like trails at Davis Overlook.
Okay, I'm trying to unmute Greg.
Davis Overlook, okay.
So the first thing we would do would be to ask Greg.
Am I there?
Yeah.
Greg.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I had some interference and you kind of froze up. So okay. As far as trails, no doubt we could improve those down there. There's actually a piece of equipment that we've used here recently to do some clearing work that would work excellent there. So I would think that's something that we could do, weather permitting. I know early in the spring, sometimes a lot of that park is underwater. So probably later towards next, the middle of next summer.
Yeah, that was one of my concerns is just wondering if that would even be a good idea, if that's going to be, completely submerged for any part of the year. I think it wouldn't be a good idea to improve those trails, but if there is potential for that, I think that it would get used as a resource in the community.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like mowing them and making them a little wider, more accessible, we always do have, the problems with the driftwood piling up and that, and especially in some of the low areas. But we've got some equipment now that makes that a little easier to maneuver around or remove. So,
okay.
So that has been kind of one of the things that we weren't able to do this year, with all the COVID issues and kind of falling behind, and we really didn't have our summer help this year. So some things we had to put on the back burner. So I hope to do some improvements down there to that park.
Is there anything that I can be doing on my end to help facilitate that?
No, the biggest problem we have with that park is that the people kind of wander off the park property onto some private land. So we kind of get some unwelcome feedback from those residents, but that's kind of hard for us to control.
Friend and our advisor. In June, when Dr. Acton resigned as director of the Ohio Department of Health, I asked
Believe it or not, we're listening to the governor now.
Someone switched to television.
In addition to advising me, Dr. Acton took some time for rest, reflection. He also spent a lot of time preparing for the role, testifying in lawsuits brought.
Someone
to meet the governor.
There.
In fact, she has continued to do that.
That is not me.
I don't have television.
Some of the people who
Turn their television down.
Seems like the governor's taken over our meeting.
Beckton told me yesterday that she has decided to leave.
Let me hang on a sec. Did it stop?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to hear from him.
So Jessica, when we froze a little bit ago, you started saying something about action items, and I didn't hear anything after that.
Oh, first
Like,
action item
Okay.
to me to email you the bylaws to post on the Prac portion of the new website.
Okay.
The second one is for me to check in with you about updating the 2021 calendar for the Prac meetings.
Okay. And then we must have tuned back in when Todd was talking about Davis Overlook.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened because they set me up as an administrator for Zoom through the city. So I don't know why at that 40-minute mark it cut out, but it somehow magically reconnected.
Oh, okay. Well, does anyone have anything else? Any other questions or want to make any goodwill wishes towards the holiday season or anything?
I'd like to say that I think you're all doing a great job. And also, Jessica, you run a really good meeting.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Speaking of the chair, per the bylaws, we are going to have election for the chair, vice chair, and secretary at our April meeting, our first meeting of next year. So if you are interested in any of those, currently we only have the chair. I don't know, or Quinn's the secretary. So the vice chair was in the municipal code, but we didn't previously have that. So we'll do that in 2021. Okay. Anyone have anything else? All right.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Yes, yes. All the above.
Thank you for all you guys do. Thanks for your patience. I don't know if the way that I sent out the Zoom was helpful. That's how IT suggested I do it. But if it's not helpful to send it out that way, let me know. I don't know.
Worked out great.
Fine.
That was fine.
Okay. Looks like that's all we have. So, all right, thank you all for being here, and we will see you at our next meeting, April 5th, 2021. And stay safe out there, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, guys.